So I think that that's a good start. We have kind of the human, what privacy feels like in our bones with the case of the television and Elvis and Target. And then we have what it feels like to do privacy within the theoretical definition. Now I'd like to look at a case, which is not a case in artificial intelligence, but you will see how well it connects to that. Um, this case is called The Neighbors. And this is a photograph you see of just what it looks like, a person sleeping on his sofa. Now, this photograph was taken of someone who was in the building, the silver colored building with the big windows on the left side of at least my screen. You can see that here. If you look at the frame on this in the window, you can see those window frames are the same as the window frames on that building on the left. The picture was taken from the building on the right, just across the street. The picture was taken by this man, Arnie Svensson, his name was, and he lived in the brick building across the street, and took pictures of those who were living in the building on the other side. Is called the Zinc building. The Zinc building, this is it is in Tribeca, and so it's expensive. By the way, it's very expensive real estate. Um, he's taking pictures, and you can see these pictures he's taken there in the background. You can see them because not only did he take the pictures, he produced them in giant sizes and then sold them in an art gallery, concretely the Julie Saul Gallery. They're also in Tribeca. And so you can see there are a few things that he did. First, he never allowed anybody's face to be seen. So all the pictures, as you can see in the background there, are of people from their back, people from the side, people whose faces are hidden. Um, but nevertheless, you can see quite a bit about these individuals. Now, the question I want to ask is, do you believe that this is a privacy violation on the part of Arnie Svensson? On the one hand, I mean, obviously it is in the sense that the people did not give permission to him to take pictures. They did not want him to take pictures. They did not um, explicitly reveal these aspects of their life. They did not make the decision to allow others access to that personal information. But on the other hand, I mean, it's also true that they bought and lived in an apartment which is, as you can see, pure windows. This is the interior of one of those apartments. So if that's what the apartment looks like, perhaps you could say you are implicitly giving people permission to take pictures of you. I mean, if you choose to live in an apartment which is pure glass, it's true that you have great views out, but that also means there are great views in. At what point, the question is, are you in essence saying, are you in essence giving permission to others to take pictures of you, even in your own home, if you choose to make a place like this your home? And that was your choice, your decision. If privacy is about making decisions, this seems like a decision in privacy. I mean, no one can walk into a home like this and not realize, my God, the views are great seeing out, and my God, the views are going to be amazing seeing in too, especially at night with the lights on. Everyone will see everything that's happening in my apartment. Now, New York is kind of a special place. People seem to be more tolerant for that than in other places that I have been. But I don't think that changes the privacy dilemma. The question is the neighbors, this artistic exhibition, is that a privacy violation? Or did the people who live in this building essentially provide access to their personal information by deciding to buy and live in an apartment of pure windows? I'm not sure. There are a couple of things we might want to ask here. We might say, look, this is New York City. One thing about New York is everyone has a camera everywhere. I mean, it's just astonishing. Everyone is taking pictures of the most random things. So if that's true, and you live in that reality, I mean, you know that everyone is taking pictures of everything. And does that change the way you think about this situation? Does it make it seem less like a privacy violation if it's true that everyone is taking pictures of everything and you know that, and then you buy an apartment like this? Or you might ask, does the calculus of privacy change if the information, the pictures that are taken, are used for art as opposed to some other purpose? Does the fact that it is art change the rules of privacy versus like some other kind of voyeur thing? Um, I'm not sure. Okay, that's the case. That's the case of the neighbors. I could add more cases here, but I think it's quite clear how this relates to emotion AI and AI generally. As in all the cases we've seen previously, whenever you set up to make an account on LinkedIn or a dating app or Instagram, you are making some version of this deal that we see with these windows, right? And that's exactly the deal that you are making. You have some idea of the visibility that you are allowing the company. You're letting them look into your life. But for the most part, we don't know exactly how much they're going to be looking and who is going to be looking. What makes this case different is when Instagram and Facebook, when they look at our lives, take the information and use it to do things, as we saw in the case of Target, right? Usually for something like Instagram or Facebook, we don't know exactly how they're using our information. Um, but I think, nevertheless, it is the same fundamental structure of reality that we have here. You know when you sign up that you're making yourself vulnerable to being observed and people taking and exploiting your information for profit. So I want to say to conclude this case, um, this case is in essence a kind of representation of social media. It's what happens when you sign up for Instagram. And the question is are these kinds of sites, are they violating your privacy? I think just like here, you could answer that question either way. On the one side, you could say, look, when I sign up for Instagram, I don't really imagine that they're going to be finding out exactly sort of what I want to do right now or what I'm hungry for because of the things I look at. But on the other hand, as users, we have some responsibility to understand that, of course, they must be making money somehow. And they must have some interest in the kinds of things we're interested in, just like occurred in the inhabitants of this apartment building. Okay, so to conclude this, what I wanted to say with this case study is I wanted to show how decisions about privacy, it seems to me, frequently get made in the world of artificial intelligence. There are decisions that are sort of like this apartment. People buy the apartment without really thinking of who might be looking in and why. Though on the edge of their mind, they know or should know that people will be looking in. I think, again, something like that happens with Instagram, Facebook, and so on. So the question you have here about privacy, is their privacy violated when someone takes their picture in their home? It's very similar to the question you have about privacy with Instagram and Facebook and so on.